So Benny walks me in and introduced me to Quincy. And like, hey, Q, what's up, man? He's like, hey, man, I saw your music videos. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Tell me your rap name again.
You've always been very candid, man. What do you ever regret anything that you say?
Not a drop.
This started out the whole thing, The Color Purple. Oprah, the relationship is like, it's like blood now.
Quincy Jones is dead at 91, but was it just his time? Or did Hollywood's most powerful figures like Oprah and Diddy take matters into their own hands to keep their secrets buried?
Yes, and breaking news this morning, the American music producer Quincy Jones has died aged 91, and we can't really understate how huge this is.
Quincy wasn't just a legend in music. He held the darkest secrets of Hollywood's biggest names. And now, with him gone, whispers are swirling about a sinister plan. What did Quincy know that made him such a threat? And who gains the most from his silence?
He stole my heart when he...
Stole mine too.
No, you stole mine. You stole my heart. When we did the Color Purple.
Then there's Will Smith, Quincy's longtime friend and protege, who's suddenly in the crosshairs. Did Quincy warn him about Oprah and Diddy's deadly connections? And could Will be next in line to disappear if he reveals what he knows?
So I opened the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne having with Will. Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up. Kill.
They say Hollywood eats its own, and with Quincy's sudden exit, are we witnessing an industry cleanup? From Michael Jackson's suspicious death to the brutal fallout of Tupac, Quincy's friends have always met strange and tragic ends. And now, it's Oprah, Diddy, and maybe even Will Smith's turn to face the consequences of their secrets. But who's really pulling the strings? And is there anyone left that can stand up against them? Quincy's connections weren't just musical. He held deep, disturbing knowledge of the industry's power brokers. And with his passing, people are left asking, did Quincy simply die of old age? Or was this Hollywood's final play to keep its skeletons buried?
It's almost surrealistic, and I have no way of processing it in my wildest dreams or nightmares.
And what about Will Smith? As Quincy's longtime friend and one of the few remaining who knows these secrets firsthand, could he be in danger too? Did Quincy's death send a message to Will that no one is safe in Hollywood's dark web of secrets? Ice Cube, the legendary rapper, pointed out how certain individuals who are high up in Hollywood's hierarchy are in charge of other celebrities' fates. In 2023, Ice Cube uploaded a clip from his podcast on social media claiming that he is not a part of the insider club that has most of the hotshots at its beck and call.
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club.
Cube then went on to reveal that his audience is also not part of the club. You see, all the celebs that are part of the industry elites also propagate the illicit agenda to their audiences. Therefore, they naturally make them part of this rumored club.
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club.
Now you might be wondering, what is the deal with this club? Well, Ice Cube cracked the code on the industry elites. He explained that even though the club wants all the influential figures to be under them, they get pissed off when the big fish, such as Cube himself, refuses to obey.
What makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club. That pisses them off.
Well, the so-called secret society has a monumental influence on its members' lives. According to ICE, all the celebs have to face this club one or more times in their career.
I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with.
You see, what people don't realize is that the gatekeepers are responsible for much more than keeping the existence of this club out of the public's eyes. So it is not out of the realm of possibility that Quincy's death is somehow related to the Hollywood elites, and specifically Oprah Winfrey and disgraced rapper Sean Combs. So, could these elites be behind Quincy's demise? What did he know that made him such a huge target? Behind Quincy's trailblazing career lies a much darker, more twisted narrative. Over the years, disturbing stories have surfaced about Quincy's influence over young stars and his deep connections to industry gatekeepers. One such star was Tevin Campbell. When Tevin Campbell burst onto the scene as a teenager, his voice was called a gift from the heavens. But as he rose under Quincy's wing, there was a shadow too. Those close to him said it felt like Quincy owned Tevin. his voice, his image, his future? Quincy's reputation for control was no secret. Many stars, even the biggest names in the industry, had felt the weight of Quincy's influence. But Tevin was young, impressionable, and according to some, vulnerable. What started as mentorship quickly blurred into something else. You see, in early 2018, Quincy Jones caused quite a stir online after he revealed he was BI.
We heard we had the city covered. We were baby gangsters. We had all the stores, working all the stores, steal boxes of honey, everything else. This is during the war, in the 40s.
These revelations caused many internet users to flip the script and dig up perceived dirt on the legendary music producer. One of the long-standing rumors that made rounds after the Vulture piece gained traction was that the Grammy-winning artist SA'd R&B singer Tevin Campbell when Campbell was still a minor. Campbell, whom Jones called an underrated musician in the Vulture interview, took to Twitter to address the rumors after they began to resurface. "Now I'm trending, folks will really say some disgusting things," the Can We Talk singer said. Tevin was SA'd by Quincy. "Get the F out of here with the devil," he continued. Several laughing emojis accompanied the tweet. With a 4.5 octave range, young Campbell was often referred to as the male Whitney Houston of his day by those who closely studied vocal technique. He had so clearly researched Houston's approach to the song, right down to her riffs, runs, and builds, that his Altino countertenor on Alan and Marilyn Bergman's 1992 Quincy Jones produced one song off of the official Olympics Barcelona Gold album, so completely followed the 1988 blueprint for One Moment in Time, that one could be forgiven for believing the song was Whitney's. She would go on to perform it live repeatedly for presidents and in concert thereafter. Campbell would be called to slay Whitney's style again at age 20 on the 1996 Olympic album for The Impossible Dream. Of the 5 Grammy nominations he'd received before his 20th birthday, Campbell lost to the likes of Luther Vandross, Al Jarreau, Ray Charles, Babyface, and Peak Boys 2 Men. That's the level of artistic competition he was considered in the company of in 1991, 1993, and 1995, respectively. In addition to selling over 3 million albums during this run, Campbell acted in sitcoms and cop shows alongside such talents as Will Smith and Brandy. Meanwhile, it seems Campbell was not the only one who had passed through the alleged SAing hands of Quincy Jones. Will Smith is another person alleged to have been SA'd by Quincy.
So Benny walks me in and introduced me to Quincy and like, "Hey Q, what's up, man?" He's like, "Hey man, I saw your music videos. I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing." Tell me your rap name again.
If you are new to this, then allow me to bring you up to speed. Quincy, Campbell, and Will Smith were all involved in a S chain revolving around the legendary music producer. A few months ago, celebrated actor Will Smith revealed that he lied to Quincy Jones about being able to act in order to get The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The NBC sitcom ran for 6 seasons, from 1990 to 1996, providing the necessary boost Smith needed to get his film career going. With its humorous take on the fish out of water trope and its incorporation of real-world events taking place within America at that time, The Fresh Prince stood out among its competitors.
Quincy ordering other people's lawyers around. Like, that's his lawyer, Quincy. Leave that man alone.
Fans of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air may have been treated to plenty of behind-the-scenes stories during the 2021 reunion special, but Smith shared a little anecdote that not many people know about. In 2023, while speaking with CBS Mornings about his Fresh Prince days, the actor revealed that when the show's executive producer, Quincy Jones, asked him if he could act, he lied and said yes. At the time, Smith's entertainment industry experience had been restricted to performing as a rapper alongside DJ Jazzy Jeff. But as the veteran star explained, it's best to say yes when asked if you can do something, even if you can't. I think it's important as a rule, if someone asks you if you can do something, always say yes, even if you can't. Quincy Jones wants to have an audition, right? And Michael Jackson was behind me, 48 million sold on Thriller, and Oprah was behind me on the other side, The Color Purple. And I'm sitting there and, I look back at Michael and he was like, "What are you going to do, Will?" And it was like, just in that moment, Quincy was like, "You're making a decision that's going to affect the rest of your life." And I was like, let's do it. It was also around the same time that Campbell was topping the charts with the help of Quincy. But of course, a little favor to accompany the success. In any case, this would not be the first time we are hearing of Will Smith's gay rumors. A while back, Adam22 also spoke on hearing the same rumors.
I've heard rumors about big-ass rappers where girls straight up sitting there and telling me, "This dude's gay, he hooked up with this guy that I know," and I'm just like, all right.
Ari Spears also recently confirmed that rumors of Will Smith's sexuality have been going on for years.
Now remember, his ex-assistant recently did an interview which claimed that he walked in on Will Smith and Dwayne Martin having switched.
And those rumors have been around forever too.
For context, actress Lisa Ray claimed that Will Smith's close friend, actor Dwayne Martin, once forced her husband into an uncomfortable relationship with him.
Somehow within that relationship, I lost my husband to Dwayne Martin, and they became better friends than what me and my husband did, and I couldn't understand that for the love of God.
She also said in that interview that Dwayne Martin would introduce her husband to several women who were her friends within the industry, and he would just be outright disrespectful to their union.
The problem was I married a playboy.
Now, she had a great interview with Wendy Williams, but after the interview, a lot of people were still saying that there was something that she just was not quite saying. You see, this is not the first time Dwayne has been suspiciously close to a married man. There have been rumors for quite some time now that Dwayne was introduced to gay relationships by longtime friend Will Smith. Will and Dwayne first met in 1993 on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, when Dwayne was featured in the episode entitled "It Is Better to Have Loved and Lost It," and would go on to establish a nearly lifelong friendship that's now lasted for 3 decades. The pair of actors would frequently share the frame in pictures and would often get spotted enjoying each other's company as the years went by, and they both continued to earn fame in Hollywood. Of course, as some might expect, their friendship and the close bond they shared has sparked rumors of an ongoing bromance, with many fans insisting that something romantic definitely stirred between Martin and Smith. For his part, Will Smith has been known to have little to no boundaries when it comes to engaging with other men. In fact, in 1993, when Will portrayed the role of a gay con artist in 6 Degrees of Separation, and coincidentally around the same time met Dwayne, the rumors about Smith's sexuality really lit up, with most fans taking an adamant stand on Will's homosexuality. During this early rise of gay rumors, both Dwayne and Will adamantly denied the claims, and as at the time they were both married, quickly leading the rumors to die down. Around this time, in 1992, Smith married Cherie Zampino, though divorced the actress in 1995, only to marry Jada Pinkett 2 years later. Dwayne, on the other hand, dated Martin actress Tisha Campbell, and in 1996 they tied the knot. However, this wouldn't be the end of all the bromance rumors. In 2013, the hot topic concerning Will's sexuality flared up yet again, this time because of an elusive answer provided by Jada during a candid interview with a well-known tabloid publication. During this time, rumors swirled that suggested trouble in paradise for the married couple, Pinkett and Smith, even that they might soon divorce. However, as everyone who followed the couple's history closely might know, they survived this troubling time in their relationship, only to end up sparking divorce rumors again 9 years later. Anyway, we also have Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, who has been spilling a lot of tea on the rapper. In fact, he recently dropped some bombshells on how Will Smith and Jada Pinkett allegedly wanted to be with Diddy's girlfriend at the time, J-Lo. In an interview with Art of Dialogue, Gene Deal recalls an event where they attended a party with celebrities, including Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, and Jennifer Lopez. However, about an hour later, Puff came up to Gene Deal with a certain look in his eyes and asked Gene to accompany him to the restroom. Gene Deal agreed, and as they walked, Puff seemed agitated, and when they reached a more secluded area, that's when Puff opened up. According to Gene, Puff expressed his concerns, implying that there might be some ulterior motives behind Jada and Will's interactions with Jennifer Lopez. He suggested that they might be trying to get close to her in a more intimate way, despite her being Puff's girlfriend at the time.
He said, yo, I think Will and Jada trying to pull Jennifer.
Puff's words insinuated that he felt somewhat threatened by this situation. What's more, Diddy said he needed Gene to stick close to him, essentially acting as a buffer between him and the situation. He was quite direct in his choice of words, mentioning that if Gene Deal continued to stay distant, Puff might take drastic action against Will's involvement. He even hinted at the possibility of a physical confrontation, emphasizing that he wouldn't hesitate to confront Will if it came down to it.
And then he said, yo, Gene, I ain't playing with you, man. Yo, I'm telling you, man, I'ma snuff that, you better be on him. I said, yeah, I got him, man.
In any case, Tevin Campbell was not the only person who fell into Quincy's alleged shady dealings. There's Michael Jackson, Quincy's star protege, whose own death still leaves fans and insiders haunted by questions of foul play. Quincy Jones and Michael Jackson go way back, and any fan will tell you they made music history together. But their story has a darker side. Some say Quincy may have even had a hand in Michael's downfall. In fact, according to Jaguar Wright, Quincy played a big role in Michael Jackson's death.
I truly feel that Conrad Murray is simply the fall guy. This was definitely something that was premeditated, that they had planned to do, and they planned to take my brother out.
And going by what Quincy has been saying about the late singer, it's hard to dispute Wright's stand. Let's rewind. Quincy met Michael when he was just 12 years old, kicking off a partnership that gave us Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad. But by the late 80s, they'd parted ways. Why? According to the Los Angeles Times, Michael thought Quincy was old and out of touch. Ouch. After Michael passed in 2009, Quincy went after MJ's estate over what he claimed was misuse of his work on This Is It, and he won a $9.4 million judgment. But that wasn't the end. Quincy went on to spill some serious tea about Michael in 2018, calling him a Machiavellian who stole songs and didn't share credit. Sound like someone with a grudge?
I truly feel that Conrad Murray is simply the fall guy. This was definitely something that was premeditated, that they had planned to do, and they planned to take my brother out.
In the now famous Vulture interview, Quincy didn't hold back. When asked, what's something people don't understand about Jackson? Quincy went right for it. Michael stole a lot of stuff. He stole a lot of songs, he said straight up. One of those songs? Billie Jean. Quincy claimed MJ lifted the beat from Donna Summer's State of Independence, a track Quincy himself had produced. The notes don't lie, man, Quincy said. Jackson was as Machiavellian as they come. Greedy, man, greedy.
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene.
And it didn't stop there. Quincy took issue with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, written by Greg Philinganis. According to him, Michael should have given Philinganis a cut for his contribution. Turns out, Quincy's not alone in pointing out MJ's influences. Over the years, Michael faced all kinds of accusations about borrowing music. Back in the 90s, he even beat a lawsuit claiming he'd ripped off parts of Thriller, The Girl Is Mine, and We Are the World. And remember Will You Be There from the Free Willy soundtrack? An Italian songwriter claimed MJ had copied it, but a court eventually let him off the hook. There was also the Belgian case over You Are Not Alone. In 2007, a Belgian court ruled that the track, written by R. Kelly, was too close to a song by composers Eddie and Danny Van Passel. The court banned it from Belgian airwaves. Talk about drama. And Michael even had to settle out of court with Cameroonian musician Manu Dibango over the line, Mama say mama sa mama kusa in Wanna Be Startin' Something. Aside from the plagiarism claims, Quincy took another stab at the king of pop in Vulture, suggesting he used excuses of an illness as a cover for an addiction to cosmetic surgery triggered by years of physical and emotional abuse in the singer's childhood. He had a problem with his looks because his father told him he was ugly and abused him, the producer claimed. Michael's alleged abuser, his father Joe Jackson, who died in June 2018, responded to statements questioning his son's legacy by calling Quincy jealous of his son's talent. He also pointed the finger at any plagiarism at Quincy for producing the songs. He says my son stole it, but he was the producer on both Billie Jean and State of Independence. So if anybody is wrong, it would be Quincy, the elder Jackson said. He, however, did not comment on the assertion that he had AB'd his child.
Anybody that says they know they're going to sell 104 million albums or whatever it was, are lying. You don't do that. You make something that you love, man.
In the same interview, a second unnamed family member suggested that Quincy was still bitter because Michael had lobbied against the producer getting a Grammy for the Thriller album in 1982. Michael did all of the work, the source said. It's his music and everyone knows Michael's sound, and Thriller was all Michael Jackson. Anyway, several other people have spoken up about Quincy's alleged wayward ways. A conspiracy theorist by the name Professor Griff wasn't afraid to call out Quincy for being part of various Hollywood S-rings.
He set up things in Hollywood. And the people that he brought in, if y'all tell me if I'm lying, Quincy Jones brought in Fresh Prince.
What's more, there are claims that Quincy once made advances towards Tupac Shakur. If you can recall, there was an interview with Tupac where he discussed Quincy Jones's purported advances. Supposedly, in that interview, Tupac disclosed that Quincy had propositioned him, suggesting an intimate encounter. Strangely, this interview has allegedly mysteriously disappeared from the internet, leaving many to wonder if Quincy's considerable clout played a role in its removal. Given Tupac's absence to confirm the authenticity of the audio, it appears Quincy may have distanced himself from any such allegations. Even Tupac's friend Napoleon, when confronted with rumors of a relationship between Tupac and Quincy, vehemently denied them in an interview and staunchly defended Jones.
Yeah, I think them rumors about Quincy Jones and all that crazy stuff about Pac was definitely rumors. Pac was about to marry his daughter.
But despite many attempts to conceal the interview, some fans claim to still remember to this day each and every word of the Tupac interview. One person actually commented on it saying, "I heard the audio of Tupac saying that about Quincy with my own ears about 10 years ago." Quincy is or was the key holder to the black music industry. Anyone at the top level had gotten there by partaking in his parties. But this is not the first time Tupac expressed his frustration on Quincy about his nasty actions. Back in the day, in an interview, Tupac lashed out on a lot of associates and made some daring remarks about them. Could it be that insinuations were being made about Quincy Jones as a figure who might have exerted influence to have his own preferences realized by others? Such conjectures are not entirely unfounded, especially when examining the close relationship between Quincy and Tupac during the latter's career. This proximity might have been viewed by some as an opportunity for Quincy to make advances towards Tupac. Their bond had deepened to the point where Tupac was allegedly contemplating a move from Death Row Records to Quincy's record label. One intriguing revelation came from none other than Keisha Cole, who shared a revealing anecdote about the night Tupac met his untimely demise. During an episode of Fat Joe's Instagram series, Cole unveiled an interesting detail. It turns out that just before his tragic demise in 1996, Tupac had been harboring intentions of leaving Death Row Records and signing with Quincy Jones Music Company, a piece of information Keisha Cole disclosed. In one episode of Fat Joe's Instagram Live series, Cole recounted how MC Hammer had initially introduced her to Death Row Records, where she had the chance to encounter both Tupac and Suge Knight, the label's co-founders. Astonishingly, on the very day Tupac met his untimely end, he had made the decision to sever ties with Death Row in favor of joining forces with Quincy Jones' label. He had even extended an invitation to Keisha Cole to accompany him on this musical journey. Tragically, it was on that fateful day in Las Vegas when Tupac was shot, forever altering the course of music history. Adding more layers to this intriguing narrative, it's worth mentioning that some months prior to his untimely demise, Tupac was rumored to have started a romantic relationship with Quincy Jones' daughter, Kidada Jones. Some speculated that this relationship was a response to perceived advances made by the music mogul himself. Quincy Jones was a legend, but his death leaves behind a legacy of questions and dark secrets. If Diddy and Oprah really did pull the strings to make him disappear, then no one's safe. Will Smith's time in the industry may be running out. And as the mystery deepens, we're left wondering, who's really in control of Hollywood? And is there anyone brave enough to speak up before it's too late? Well, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.